Arsenal's want to sign a new centre forward has been made no secret, with the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Alexander Isak and Jonathan David reported main targets. Let's find out today whether Mikel Arteta is eyeing up a surprise move for Chelsea's on-fire loanee Armando Broja. Also, have Arsenal officially confirmed the signing of a new keeper, and is Stan Kroenke set to splash the cash after his LA Rams won Super Bowl 56. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Bavs14. Welcome back to your boys channel, and today we are back again with the Arsenal news. It was a stupendous weekend for Arsenal Football Club, even though these guys didn't play. So my friends, smash a like if you enjoyed the content, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and help your boy because we are right now closing in to 75,000 subscribers. It is mental, so a massive shout out to you guys. But let's get into that Arsenal news, and starting off with Armando Broja. Yes, he is a player on loan from Chelsea Football Club, but most importantly, this year, 6 goals in 20 appearances at 20 years of age, the Albanian international Armando Broja has been on fire. So bringing it back to Arsenal Football Club, let's not forget we want to sign a brand new centre forward, and going into that summer transfer window, having already let go of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the likes of Eddie Nketiah and Alexander Lacazette are also set to leave. So with 3 first-team strikers leaving, Arsenal are going to need reinforcements. So with Arsenal being one of the most exciting youth projects across Europe, and Broja being a very decent player, according to Mr. Chris Wheatley, he's reporting that Arsenal are monitoring Armando Broja ahead of the summer transfer window. Football London understands. Broja, on loan at Southampton from Chelsea, remains highly admired by Mikel Arteta. So not only does Chris Wheatley confirm that Arsenal are monitoring him, but also the fact that Mikel Arteta is a massive fan of Armando Broja. And there's no secret why. Broja has so much potential in this game, so many of the perfect fundamentals that Arsenal would want to see in a centre forward. Not only has he got pace, but he's deceptively strong, he's pretty tall, he seems to have some sort of killer instinct in front of goal. And despite this being his first year within the Premier League, no matter what team he comes up against, what player, what personnel, Broja doesn't seem to be phased. And even according to ex-West Ham United employee, he confirms that Arsenal are interested in signing Chelsea loanee Armando Broja. Now, of course, it is a West Ham United source, but when it comes to West Ham, these guys are a tier 1 source, and they have quoted Arsenal and West Ham alongside a host of other Premier League clubs that hold interest in Armando Broja. Now, with Arsenal losing 3 first-team strikers, where this is very important is I don't think Broja would be our marquee centre-forward signing. It would be very expensive, but in the sense of Arsenal, I think he would be more of a long-term, 20 years of age player, more for the future. But in terms of Mr. Broja, of course, he is a loanee of Chelsea Football Club, so if Arsenal want to sign this guy, as he's on a long-term contract there, for a potential secondary striker signing, it would be extremely expensive. But in terms of Broja leaving Chelsea, according to the Express, they have learnt that Broja is refusing to rule out the possibility of a move away from Stamford Bridge ahead of the summer transfer window, as they claim it seems as though Broja could be willing to entertain the idea of joining the Gunners, with the forward refusing to make any promises over his immediate future as it stands. Express Sports understands, via a source close to the player, that he is open to all options this summer. In terms of Chelsea Football Club, they do have Romelu Lukaku, who, even though he might be out of favour, he was a £100 million signing. Going back to Chelsea, I'm sure Broja will want more first-team opportunities. Whereas in terms of Arsenal Football Club, we've become a showcase team when it comes to playing these youngsters, whether that be Gabriel Martinelli, Emil Smith-Rowe, Bukayo Saka. A lot of the youngsters around the world are now looking at Arsenal Football Club as a club that gives young players opportunities. And as much as I don't think that Broja would be Arsenal's marquee centre-forward signing, I think if Arsenal were to sign him, they would be getting a fantastic potential centre forward who would provide Arsenal, in the short term at least, elite competition, and going into the long term alongside the likes of Gabriel Martinelli, Smith-Rowe, Saka at 20 years of age. Again, another part of a very exciting core of young players. But talk to me down below in the comments on Mr. Armando Broja, and is he a player that you guys want to see Arsenal sign? What are your thoughts on the player? Talking about strikers, according to The Athletic, Arsenal rejected the opportunity to sign Mauro Icardi from PSG in January in a player swap deal for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, as the club are clear on their targets, and it was either those on the list or nobody. You know what, I am actually a massive fan of this. In terms of Arsenal, they do have a very clear strategy, and for the first time in a very long time, Arsenal are not looking for short-term resolutions, and that's very important because in terms of Arsenal, especially under Arteta, the short-term signings that Arsenal made, you know, you're talking about Williams, Pablo Mari's, Cedric Suarez's, those have been Mikel Arteta's biggest failures. And so what it looks like is that Arsenal, Mikel Arteta and co are learning from their previous mistakes. It is long-term signings signings, this is a proper rebuild, and even though it might be very expensive, Arsenal are not willing to budge. Leading up to a potential very expensive summer transfer window, let's talk Mr. Stan Kroenke, the Arsenal owner, because here is the owner of both Arsenal and NFL side LA Rams lifting the Vince Lombardi trophy after the Rams' 23-20 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl 56 last night. So the LA Rams won the Super Bowl, which in terms of footballing terms is essentially Arsenal winning the Champions League. Now, as I said, I don't watch the NFL, but in terms of the Rams coach in Sean McVay, in terms of the age profile for the whole process and project, there are a few little similarities in terms of McVay and Mikel Arteta. And as pointed out by this tweet, Stan and Josh are going to feel very smug about their youth strategy, as one of the youngest coaches in the NFL has just delivered the biggest prize in American sports. At 37 years of age, Sean McVay became the youngest coach to ever win the Super Bowl. So in terms of Mikel Arteta, at 39 years of age, I believe he's the youngest coach within the Premier League. And so in terms of how the Kroenkes have operated the LA Rams, the young coach strategy to trust that process to win the Super Bowl, they are of course up in the same thing in terms of Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, and they are putting their money where their mouths are, as in the 3 windows since they have taken over Arsenal's full ownership, they have spent nearly £400 million. And once again, going into this summer, you've got reports coming out that Arsenal are willing to give Mikel Arteta up to £180 million to spend. It looks like this is a project they want to back, and having seen the success with the Super Bowl and the LA Rams, Mr. Stan Kroenke, it's time to fund that Champions League and Premier League charge. And going into that summer transfer window, especially if Arsenal can secure Champions League football, I'm not going to say be excited. Of course there's room to be pessimistic, but at the same time, if the Rams can win the Super Bowl under their ownership, then why can't Arsenal, if they spend the money accordingly and give it to the right people? Maybe, just maybe, us Arsenal fans can dream of a glorious future. But as I say, it's the hope that kills you as an Arsenal fan. Moving on to the confirmed Arsenal news, and in particular we're talking about a goalkeeper who plays in the USA for New England Revolution. He was the 2021 MLS Goalkeeper of the Year, and is the current US men's national team #1 starting goalkeeper. And we of course are talking Matt Turner. As Fabrizio Romano says, official and confirmed, New England Revolution announced the full agreement reached with Arsenal for US men's national team goalkeeper Matt Turner. Done deal. Turner will join Arsenal in July, ready for next season, and he was dreaming of Premier League football. So Matt Turner is on his way to Arsenal Football Club. Official and confirmed, Arsenal have got a brand new backup goalkeeper, with Bernardo set to leave Arsenal in that summer transfer window, and the likes of Newcastle and other clubs around Germany wanting to acquire the services of the German international. Turner will reportedly join Arsenal for a fee of £7.5 million. At 27 years, he's entering the peak of his powers. Comments acclaim crosses, being commanding and overall doing the basics very well. But ultimately, I have not watched him play too much, so to the USA fans that have watched Matt Turner play, let me know your thoughts on the player, and most importantly, is he going to be a good signing for Arsenal Football Club? Fabrizio Romano says, I've been told about Youri Tielemans and he will not extend his contract with Leicester City. With the new deal bid having been turned down, his current one expires in 2023. Of course, Youri will be professional. He is focused on Leicester, but many top clubs want to sign him in June. So confirmation from Fabrizio Romano that Youri Tielemans is going to be available in the summer transfer window. And in terms of Arsenal Football Club, as confirmed by Charles Watt in the past, Arsenal have held talks behind the scenes with the agents of Youri Tielemans. So with the player only having 1 year left on his contract in that summer transfer window, if Arsenal want to sign his player, he won't be too expensive and we can definitely make it happen. But most importantly, is Youri the type of player that Arsenal should be looking to sign? Well, to know that, first things first, you have to look at the current Arsenal structure. Now here's a photo of Mikel Arteta's midfield 3 against Wolves on Thursday. As you can see, Partey playing as a 6, and then you have Xhaka and Odegaard playing as number 8s. But in terms of Mikel Arteta's midfield 3 in particular, it's a very specific type of it, where you have the out and out creator in Martin Odegaard, you have the 6 in Thomas Partey, but the role of Granit Xhaka is a bit different, and that being the role of a hybrid midfielder, going up, going forward, providing the attacking support, but also being asked to defend as well. Now in terms of Mr. Youri Tielemans going forwards, I don't have any doubts, and as you can see here, Tielemans has actually equalled his best goal scoring season in the Premier League with 6 goals this season. Going forward, Tielemans will definitely be a massive upgrade on Xhaka, but defensively, I do have concerns over his overwork rate and does he have the engine to play a box-to-box role. But the fact that he's not going to be too expensive, he has that Premier League experience and is a full Belgium international, entering the peak of his powers. What do you guys make of Mr. Youri Tielemans? Mikel Arteta has confirmed that Arsenal will start contract talks with Bukayo Saka, as he says obviously our desire is to keep Bukayo as long as possible because we are really happy. He is a part of our club, our DNA, he is growing and he is maturing. Personally speaking, I'm actually very confident that Arsenal are going to extend Bukayo Saka's contract, but most importantly, it's a priority for Arsenal Football Club. As Saka is a player that's going to be in demand, because if he becomes available, if Arsenal can't pin him down to a new contract, this guy is up there in terms of the best young prospects in the world, 20 years of age, getting better day by day. Before the end of this year, Arsenal need to make this a priority. Let's extend Bukayo Saka's contract. But in terms of yourselves, talk to me in the comments of how much per week, wages wise, do you think that Arsenal should offer Bukayo Saka? Okay, let's move on to the other Arsenal news today. And starting off with the captain of Wolverhampton Wanderers, Mr. Conor Coady, and the Wolves players who weren't happy with Arsenal's players after our win on Thursday, because apparently we were a bit over the top in our post-game celebrations. As Coady says, we've seen them, we've heard them. They celebrated quite hard, didn't they? I'll be honest with you, from our point of view, we really didn't like them. But ultimately speaking, what did you guys expect? It was a massive game for Arsenal. It was a 6-point in the top 4 race. Having seen Spurs drop points, United drop points, the fact that Arsenal came to Molineux, we picked up 3 points and won deservedly. That despite being down to 10 for 30 minutes, of course the Arsenal players are going to be very happy after the game. I myself was very happy after the game. And me personally, I want to see our players emotional after the game, going to the fans, celebrating with the fans. It's things that I love to see. But Coady also says it's something that we have got 2 weeks. It's time now to try and put it right, going back to the Emirates, and try and put on a good game again. Now, of course, Arsenal will play Wolves once again in a few weeks' time in a reverse game at the Emirates Stadium. And in terms of Mr. Coady talking that smack prior to that game, while I understand your frustration, at the same time, we're also going to have a frustrated Brazilian star boy waiting to get revenge after that very stupid red card. So just be careful for what you wish for, you captain of glorified dogs, Wolverhampton Wanderers, because our Brazilian star boy is also going to be out for vengeance. But yeah, it is going to be a very interesting game in a few weeks' time. It's that time of the day. Let's talk Aaron Ramsdale and his stats within the Premier League this season. 19 games played, 16 goals conceded, 11 clean sheets, 3.2 saves per game and a 79% save success rate. And Ramsdale also tops the league in terms of goals prevented rate within the Premier League this season. Ramsdale is up there with the best keepers within the Premier League, and in terms of this Arsenal defence, is going to be massively important for Arsenal going into this top 4 race. Because looking at the way that Spurs defend, United defend, these guys are very dodgy, and even though Arsenal have their moments here and there, on the most part, Gabriel, White, Tomiyasu, Tierney and Ramsdale provide a very decent back 5. So with 11 clean sheets and 16 games left to play for, come the end of the season, how many total clean sheets do you guys think Aaron Ramsdale is going to get? And finally, let's get an update on the top 4 race. First things first, on Saturday you had Man United dropping points at Old Trafford, drawing 1-1 with Southampton. And then you also had West Ham United yesterday dropping 2 points as they drew 2-2 with Leicester City. And for the cherry on top, you also had Nando's FC, aka Tottenham Hotspur, losing 2-0 at home to our friends Wolverhampton Wanderers. Meaning for the first time in over 12 years, Antonio Conte has lost 3 consecutive league games. As a certain Giorgio Chiellini once said, it's the history of the Tottenham. But here's how the results have left the Premier League table. You've got West Ham in 4th, United in 5th, Arsenal in 6th, and Wolves going above Spurs to drop them down to 8th and move into 7th. Now as it stands, Arsenal are 2 points off the top 4 with 3 games in hand, even though I don't like being games in hand FC. As it stands, it is of course in our hands. Arsenal have won 9 of our last 14 league games and kept a clean sheet in 7 of those wins. And in terms of our last 6 games within the Premier League, Arsenal have only lost 1 game, and that was Man City. But what do you guys make of the top 4 race after the weekend results? And as it stands, are you guys, dare I say, getting more and more confident that Arsenal can indeed make the Champions League places? But that is the video there and there. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also to subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you would like to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was all the latest Arsenal news today, so I hope you guys have been informed, and in a weekend where Arsenal haven't even played, somehow we've come on top as winners. Anyways, twists and turns to come, so I will see you next time in a bit.